When I'm not listening to the Big Sexy Digital Nomad podcast, I'm sad. What helps? Cruising. My name is Bill and I run Cruise Habit, a YouTube channel and website about cruising. Sometimes I'm vacationing, sometimes I'm doing the digital nomad thing from a ship, but whenever possible, I am cruising, or at least talking about cruising. I've got tips, tours, and more information to make sure you take the right cruise for you. Check out the channel and site by visiting cruisehabit.com/BSDN. That's cruisehabit.com/BSDN.
What up, sexy world travelers? It's your boy, Big Sexy, here with a big thank you to our big, sexy world travelers. They're the folks who went over to bullwiththebutthole.com and subscribe to the podcast. I want to say a big shout out to Billy with cruisehabit.com, Lee Popsicle, Margaret White, Angel Quo, Bree, Chris Lowry, Dylan Diggs, Jesus, Joshua Tarr, Michael McKenna, Sebastian Robbins, and Smitty Scoop. If you would like to have your name read out before the show, just become a big, sexy world traveler and subscribe to the podcast. Swing on over to bullwiththebutthole.com and join the fun. Safe travels.
What is going on, world travelers? It's Judge Mentalist here. I am laying the brickwork, the foundational pieces for a new pyramid scheme. Not anywhere near as bad as it sounds, but that's what I like to call it. We're going to talk about that. And who knows what else we're going to get into in this time-distorted episode of Big Sexy Digital Nomad with Big Sexy. Here he is.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever this is hitting your ear holes. I hope it is good. And it's whenever it's hitting your ear holes. Because just like going to Chase, this is in the bank. It's a bank episode, and we'll release it whenever we need it. But yeah, man. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Things are good here in Mexico. Life is wonderful. And I understand that my co-host is starting his own pyramid scheme, is what we discussed, the way he's calling it. So I want to hear, I'm more intrigued. I want to hear what this pyramid scheme is all about.
Okay, so by the reason that I'm starting this, by the time you hear this episode, will already have come and gone. And it really, necessity is, I think, the instigator of innovation. And I'm sure there's some smart person who's made some keen quote that's precise and encapsulates that much cleaner than I just did. But as many of you probably know, Elkton Magic, for which I'm the primary coordinator, at the time this broadcasted will be past tense, hosted the Jokers of Magic. And that is a lineup with friend of the podcast, by the time you're hearing this, Matt Donnelly, Eric Diddleman, and Nick DeFott, with Mike Mills. Doing a regional tour, for which Elkton was added to that mix. Now, normally when we do these shows, our big venue, and I'm sure I've talked about this before, but in our big venue, we can rearrange it two different ways. I can fit 500 people in this venue, but I also can fit between 100 and 200 and still make the room look full because of the way that we arrange it. So that venue that we normally would have hosted this at, and the game plan is always, okay, let the tickets go, because we don't really need to arrange this room until the day of the event. And then we can figure out and arrange the room properly. So the only time that we've exceeded that, like the quote, small way to present the room that cap is probably around 220. Maybe we could push it to 250. We beat that one time with the Magic Gone Wild event a few years back, where we sold like 350. So that venue was booked.
That was Magic Gone Wild, but that wasn't like Magic with boobies.
What's that?
That wasn't just Magic with boobies.
No, it was just an adult only with more profanity and some adult themed stuff. It wasn't really
boobies.
No, not really.
I think that was a missed opportunity.
For sure. But so anyway, this flexible venue, I'll call it that, was booked for something else. So we couldn't use that venue. And really, when we're slotting in on an already existing tour and adding a date, that's the date. We either can host the show and make it happen, or we can't. So I had somebody connect me with a local high school. That high school has an auditorium. That auditorium seats 650 people.
That's a big auditorium for a high school.
It is a big auditorium for a high school. It's also out kicking our coverage quite a bit. We've never put, and I would imagine that for this show to not look empty, we need to have at least 400 to 500 people.
Now, question: Is it 650 with a balcony or just 650 off floor?
I think it's all on the floor, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, because that can make a difference.
Yeah, I don't think there's a balcony, but I could be wrong. I have not been in this venue in a number of years, so I don't remember precisely, that's for sure. So last night at the time of this recording, months ago at the time you're hearing this, I had this idea of, hey, I'm going to get other people to help promote these shows, but I'm going to award them for doing it. I'm going to reward them, I guess, for doing it. My ticketing software has the ability for me to set up different tracking links very, very, very easily. And I can distribute those tracking links. And ultimately what happens is, like, if I were to make one that was a tracking link, and you as the user clicking on it from the social media would really never know it. It takes you to the exact same website as if you click the link without the tracking information in it. However, I can set it up so that if you then use that link, and let's say it was one for this podcast, and you were to purchase tickets, I could see in a report that, hey, 8 people bought tickets by clicking the link that Big Sexy and Digital Nomad was putting out there. Anytime I make a post on social media, I create a tracking link that basically tells me, this is a little inside baseball for how I do it. I will tag it. I'll tag that link with not only the social media platform that I'm posting the link on, but the date. That way I can be like, oh, the link that I posted on Facebook on February 21st is what was clicked for the person that bought these 4 tickets. So I can create those for each and every person that wants to promote and help us fill this room. And when we did this, when I came up with this idea and I put it out there, I wasn't shy about it. When I put an email out to the list of Elkton Magic people that are on that email list, you got it.
I sure did.
I was straight up and I said, look, we've outkicked our coverage here. We're in a venue that's much bigger than we've ever been able to fill before, and we don't want to embarrass ourselves. So we need your help. Anybody who's interested in this, basically, you help us sell 10 tickets, yours is free. You want to help us sell 20 tickets, you get 2 for free, so on and so forth. So I sent this email out. I got a handful of people that have already jumped on board. I've posted on social media. I got more people that jumped on board. As of the time that I'm broadcasting or that we're recording, which is literally not even 24 hours from when I started this, I've got 7 people signed up to do this.
Excellent. You're about to have 8. I think I'm going to sign up, even though I can either go or, well, I can't go. Not either or. I did not have a second part of that sentence.
So
even though I can go. So if I'm able to do 10 tickets, then I will gift my free ticket.
But you don't have to, and here's why. I put that boat in the water. I started getting response to it, and then late last night, I was like, oh. And the reason that I'm talking about this now in a bank episode, and why I'm describing this as the pyramid scheme, is that the necessity was trying to sell more seats and incentivize people to help for a show that the room was way too big for what we're able to fill on our own already. But it dawned on me, this is a great concept. This should be something that I'm doing year round and for every show. That way, let's say you just want your ticket for free, right? Okay. Are you going to sell the 10 tickets and stop, get yours for free? Or do you have enough of a reach that I want you to keep pushing? Right. And maybe you go to these shows alone. So is there any why would you sell 11 tickets if you only need to sell 10? And I was like, no, I need to make this cumulative. I need to make it so that basically every time you are able to push and sell a ticket for any Elkton Magic show, you get a credit. Nice. 10 of those credits exchanged for a ticket to any show that you want, ever, forever. So that way, if you had the ability to sell 29 tickets and you only needed to use one this time, or maybe you're unavailable, like you're unavailable to see the March 15th show, right? Okay, now you've got at least 2 free tickets, and the next time somebody buys something, you've got a third. So it's not truly, a pyramid scheme, because there's not like and go out and recruit other people to sell tickets too. Like it's not that much of there's really only like one level.
It's not MLM.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
it's an OLM. One level marketing.
One level marketing. That's it. Just you.
Yep. Do you me tickets to whatever the hell show you want to go to? And then I'm working on taking it further so that I'm opening this opportunity up to small businesses. You have a client base, you have an email list. Not only am I going to give you a tracking link, but I'm going to give you a discount code. So for here, it might be Safe Travels. If the small business were the Ice Cream Social podcast, it might be Hey Scoops. Enter Hey Scoops at checkout. I just got a deal, a guy that is my financial advisor, who I'm going to be creating a promo code. This is great. All right. And if you are in a market, and the reason I'm putting this out here is because if you are in a position like this, I want you to steal this idea from me. I want you to take this and run with it. I want you to take this idea, start using it, think of 2 ways to make it better, and report back to me so I can make my process better. Then share it on here so that we can continue anybody that's in this business
build that loop
and booking shows or whatnot. But so my financial advisor, like quarterly, will do a client appreciation event. And it's usually like a happy hour or something like that. 2 years ago, I think it was, when we had Eric Diddleman performing at Elkton Magic back when we were doing the shows at the Crab House, he bought up a block of like 30 or 40 tickets. I don't even remember how many it was. But he bought up a block of like 30 or 40 tickets and brought his people there, which was fantastic for the purposes of having 40 extra butts in seats, which was great. The difficult thing for me, because I'm slowly building an audience base of people that hopefully continue to come to more and more shows, and not everybody, there's no reality in somebody coming to every show. So you can't just be like, okay, we've sold the 650 tickets that we need to sell, we never need to market again. No, because not all of these 650 people are going to want to go to the next performance. They're going to be available on that night, et cetera, et cetera. So you got to keep pushing this thing. But this guy's a financial planner. He's a fiduciary. He can't give me the list of people and their contact information that he's bringing. Obviously, I can see him in the room. It's not like it's a secret. He can't give me any information without violating issues.
He cannot sell you their information.
Correct.
So he's not one of them shady data brokers. You know, he has
Yeah,
those things called morals.
yeah, and he's a straight up ethical guy. Or at least I hope he is, because he's got a whole lot of my money that he's managing, and it's certainly going in the right direction. So I'm not mad about it. So now he's going to get a promo code that basically is going to make the ticket free to anybody using that promo code. Then at the end, he and I are going to settle up, and he's just going to cut a check. So it allows him to put it out there. Hey, this quarter or whatever it is show is, you know, the appreciation event is going to this show. Here's the ticket link. Use this promo code so you don't have to pay for your ticket. Done.
Yes.
Then I get to capture the information because they provided the information,
Right.
not him.
They'll click the link. They'll put in their name, number, email address, all the
Totally 100% above board, which is great. So that's happening there. And then, of course, look, and I tell anybody, and where we're trying to put this program, and a layer of this program for small businesses is going to be, hey, if your promo code sells X number of tickets, you're going to get a $250 sponsorship, which includes your tickets and your logo in the program and all this other stuff for $0.
Nice.
Because what I want, what I
butts and
really
seats.
want are butts and seats. I don't care about the money any further than I need the money to pay the performers to show up. That's obviously a given. I'm not trying to, give all these tickets away for free and be like, oh yeah, we were on a 50-50 split or a 70-30 split. I raised $600, so here you go. Here's 400. Like that ain't gonna fly. I do have to sell at full price most of these tickets, but me comping every 10th ticket, me giving a sponsorship for every 20th ticket, whatever it might end up being, all that stuff is great, because in a room of 650 people, there's some fungibility there.
Yeah, there's room to maneuver, like as we call it.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Like I said, it's starting to move. I'm starting to get interest, and it's really only going to be a matter of time till, I'm just now I said 7. I have business cards from 3 other people here from a networking group this morning that I haven't put into the system yet. So I'm really at 10 that are going to do this. And
yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't anticipate getting 10 people. I don't know enough people in that area, but I have been running to quite a few people from Maryland. So I'm going to put it up in my WhatsApp groups out here for them to share with their people.
That is a fantastic idea. I love it.
Yeah. I'm gonna do my own pyramid type thing. I'm gonna be that little tiny pyramid that's next to the bigger pyramid, right? It's actually the entryway into the larger pyramid. I'm gonna say, hey, here's another entryway. Here's I'm coming to the pyramid through the back door, and then, like I said, and then however many times I'll hang on to since I have credit. Now, question. Let's say is it only in increments of 10, or does each ticket have a percentage discount? So let's say I do 15, I get 1 ticket free, and then in my next ticket half off?
No, not yet, at least. Although as I've kind of thought this through, and I'm sure that I will come up with more ideas as I continue to do it, I'm keeping a special kind of section in my CRM for the people who have signed up for this, so that if I want to send an email blast out only to my people that are promoting these events, then I can do so. If I ever have a show that's light, and I want, last week of the show, week leading up to the show, and I need to boost ticket sales, it's very, very easy for me to be like, hey, flash sale, we have extra seats to this show, 5 credits, and you get your ticket for free. This isn't something that we're going to do for every show. It's just for this show because we have a big block of extra tickets or whatever it is. Yeah. So it's currency. It's currency that's only good for Elkton Magic shows, but
My
nobody's
goal
paying
is to
for it.
get to Elkton, Maryland at some point in time, hopefully this year. Maybe. I'm trying to see if I can work that out. I'm getting close. So, and I know we weren't going to talk about timing, but this will come out well before this conference.
Yeah.
The International Toastmasters Conference is going to be held in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I believe I have to double check the date. I think it's September. I hope it's not September. I hope it's not the same time as Scoop Fest because I'm also planning on going to Scoop Fest. I think it might be. I think it's in August. I think it's the month before Scoop Fest.
August 20th through the 23rd.
Oh, you got to pull up there. I know I shared it. Yeah. So if I go to that, when not if, when I go to that as a finalist in the International Toastmasters Speech Contest, I will make my way from there to visit Elkton. Because how far is that from you?
It could be as close as 35 to 40 minutes, depending on exactly where this is. It could be a little over an hour. So not far at all.
Not far. It's within a car ride. I don't got to buy another airline ticket or a train.
No, nothing like that. It would be a pricier Uber, but you could Uber it. I've Ubered back from I once because timing didn't work out. I have Ubered back from that airport, no problem.
So I will.
You would never need to do that because if you were coming to hang out with me, it would be just as easy for me to come get you. So you wouldn't even necessarily need to have a car to do it, and you certainly wouldn't need to Uber. So
that's coming up in August. Looking forward to that, and so I will definitely be making my way to Elkton. And then, of course, there's those good old-fashioned fingers, toes, nose crossed that it may coincide with an actual show happening in Elkton. Right, so I will be able to attend an Elkton Magic performance while I'm there visiting, either before or after the conference, where I win the Toastmasters International Speech Contest. Because how awesome is that?
So you've given me a specific date to target to book a show, which I can do.
Yeah, just not on the conference dates.
Right.
Yes.
Let me see. I'm assuming that's like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I would assume so.
I'm taking a look at it right now. Come on. Do love when you're going to look at a calendar and then you get what?
Here we go. August. What were the dates
20th,
again?
20th through the 23rd. It's a Wednesday.
Oh, that's a Wednesday through Saturday.
Huh.
So something on that Sunday, the 24th, because if we did that, we wouldn't leave until Monday because that's when flights are cheaper. Yeah, we'll probably get in town that Monday, the 18th. So we'll probably be in that area for a week, 18th through the 25th. I know the missus is currently looking flight plans right now.
Sweet.
The other thing I can mention for this bank episode is I have in motion the Big Sexy Digital Nomad Educational Series, and I decided that I'm gonna do it for the summer. It's good, like you have summertime workshops and summertime things happen, right? Like summer specials. That's what this educational series is gonna be. I'm gonna start recording those interviews in March. So last month when this episode dropped, probably, and I want to get all the episodes blocked, edited, and shot, and I'm going to really work on doing it. And I want to get them recorded in the same location, right? So they all look and have the same feel instead of me bouncing around and who knows where the hell. Instead of having to where in the world is Big Sexy being every week thing with this podcast.
Yeah.
I want those series to be specific. So I'm going to utilize the studios right now in Bunker Networking, co-working. I don't know why I keep wanting to call it a Bunker Network. It's co-working, a Bunker co-working space. They have a great meeting room. I want to start booking that out ahead of time on a certain day of the week and blocking off the day, and then booking those educational interviews ahead of time. And y'all, I'm doing work for this shit. I have started doing what genres I want to learn and what information I think people want, and then finding people who are experts in that field to come and talk about that information. Like I just met a lady the other night who does healthcare from Mexico. So I want her to come. I'm going to interview her about doing healthcare in Mexico. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write that down now. I don't remember her name because I don't have a card in front of me, and I met her, and I know too many people. But I'm going to talk to her about healthcare in Mexico. And again, I'm in these networking groups. And so, here we are. These are all business people who all moved to Mexico in the expat community. That means they're all expert at something and know their shit about China. Right? The first interview I'm conducting is going to be in March with Yannick, and I would have already conducted it by the time you hear this. It's with Yannick and Ronnie. They wrote a book called We Quit America, and I'm going to actually make that a much more educational and professional interview instead of my usual bonus episode. Because by the time I interview them, I will have enough interviews before them to push that towards the summit. And it'll make it my very first professional, interview session. So I'm really looking forward to that. So stay tuned, listeners, for that to come down the wire. To all of our subscribers to the podcast who have gone to bullwiththebutthole.com and become a subscriber to the podcast, you will have received a bonus episode where I was interviewed by one of the people that I interviewed. Right. So there's a bonus episode with my friend Isak, who I met in Toastmasters, and then so I conducted my interview like I normally do, and then he said I have some questions for you as well. I was like, cool. So then we continued talking. He started asking me questions. That lasted for another hour. It was like a 2 interview. And I said, oh no, I'm definitely going to split that up, make that 2 parts, make the one bonus episode go out to the people who get the bonus episodes, and make that second part for our paid members only. So I'm really working on getting our paid subscribers value-based items so that they go, hey, it's really good to support this podcast. They give it. That's what I'm hoping for. Then I'm hoping more people go, oh, they're actually giving stuff out. I need to become a subscriber. And when you can become a subscriber for as low as $1 a month,
$1,
like that's value. That's value. And there's, of course, part of me that goes, okay, that might be for a higher tier. I might make that interview for the $5 a month folks, whatever. But depends on how generous I'm feeling the time I get that shit edited. So stay tuned for that. But man, it's before we recorded, I was trying to think of what the fuck we're gonna talk about on the bank episode, right? Because I'm so used to my episodes being about whatever's happening right now.
What's happening now and what's happening next, and
yeah, what's coming up right now. It's like, no, I don't want to have to do the mental gymnastics to figure out, okay, what's happening after April, which we've already done a little bit of, but we can't help it because we are the number one time travel podcast whose host is named.
yeah,
we got to maintain that rep, right? But in that vein, you sparked something in me that I realized as in the last episode recorded, of creation, right? You had talked about you created that game, right, with the
Yeah.
jukebox game, the game creation. I thought, well, what am I creating here in Mexico, in Playa? What are the future plans? So I think I'm going to create a game or some kind of uh, uh, fun, people watching inspired game that you inspired, kind of. Right? Because there aren't jukeboxes here. I checked. I started looking up different jukeboxes. There aren't really jukeboxes here. That's not the thing. But you know what does exist here is black people.
Black people?
Yes. More
Okay.
black people are here than there are like in Spain. And what me and the missus used to do, and I think I might make this again whenever we're actually people watching, is we always count the number of black people. But here, it'll be a higher number because we're in abundance here. There's a lot of black American expats. So I want to put a flip on it. I want to count the number of black people who may not be American.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's going to be completely racist. And well, it's a something. I wouldn't call it racist, but it's definitely a something, right? I have to assume that the black person I'm seeing is not a black American.
So it's odd, going back to the whole concept of these bank episodes and not knowing when they're going to drop. It's quite possible that by the time this episode drops, that the word racist and American are synonymous.
Well, I mean, they already are. Let's be fair. That it was prior to the creation of this podcast. It was prior to the creation of podcasts in general. But it may just need more.
I feel like it's getting worse, though.
It is getting worse. It may be much more commonplace and less deniable.
It's probably not getting worse. It's probably just getting more overt.
Overt, yeah, definitely more overt. It's the plausible deniability of the systemic racism is being wiped away. But that happens when you appoint Nazis to government positions.
Yeah, I just
and then when Nazi Germany goes, oh, America could do it, then I guess we can do it again.
Right.
And the world is, look, on the whole, in the bigger picture, the world can be a scary place on political fronts or whatever. But like on individual basis, the world is beautiful, right? At the same time, Elon Musk is doing fuck all with the government and not to salutes and all this other shit. I was on a beach with a bunch of other people doing magic mushrooms and laying on the sand, listening to the waves of the ocean, doing breath work, and just enjoying the clouds moving. Right? Like all that was happening at the same time. And I wasn't alone in that. That exists. And there's a lot more of that second part than there is the first. It's just the first part's a lot louder. Right? We live in a world where the cacophony of information used toward the negative to really get us upset.
Yeah, it's and again, it goes back to what I said of is it a change, or are we just, is it more open and out there?
It's both, I think. The change is that it's more open.
And then I guess some populations now feel like it's either more acceptable or they've gotten permission.
Right.
Not from me, of course, but like
from elected officials.
Yeah.
But also, I tell you, people, don't always take and heed the cacophony. But sometimes the cacophony is cacophony, right? It's not always as dire or as destructive as it seems. It's not that it's not, but it's also not as life ending, as it appears to be. I know people who are throwing their hands up. That's it. It's over. We're done. America's over as a country. I mean, we recently sided with our enemies in the UN. Right? You heard about this, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. And it's like, oh, we're another member of the Axis of Evil, or as our former president GW would have said, called it. Well, we're just saying it out loud. Not like we didn't already support their ideas and factors. It's just we have a person in office. However, I am a firm believer that shit will change in 4 years. So people believe that it will not. People believe that's it. No more elections. No, it's not. It's not. I can't believe it. So I don't listen to the Caca phone. I hear it. I'm aware of it. I pay attention to the news a little bit. My wife does more so. And that's also one of the reasons why I like to get out the house, because the missus always has the news on. I like to get my news information from the late night funny folks. Right? It pisses me off when they take hiatuses. Hiatuses? Yeah, that's right. Not hiatus. Yeah, hiatuses. Because, damn it, you don't deserve 2 weeks off. You need to give me my news and my funny now. Right? I don't know if they catch up, but they seem to manage it so they're not all gone at once, which is helpful. I wish I could have my flash force five. Information.
So you're in a coffee shop right now, yeah?
Yeah, I'm currently at Caca, the one I'm normally at. That's why you'll see movement and people going back and forth behind. You hear,
a little bit of background noise, nothing.
Background noise.
Nothing unmanageable. Little noise in the podcast.
We'll have some random guest stars every now and then over my shoulder who even know they are, and I don't have to worry about getting permission slips because they're not saying it. So who cares? Yeah, but it's my third favorite place to record. Right, it's my favorite place to work. I only got to buy one thing, and then they give you a receipt with the Wi-Fi. And it's funny because if I come the next day, I can almost now figure out what the Wi-Fi code is and not have to buy it. Because it tracks in numerical order, right? Each order, it bumps one. So if I can guesstimate about how many I think would have jumped, like for instance, this one ends at 9083, and I think yesterday was like 8142. Right, so that tells me it was about 1,000-person jump, roughly somewhere in there. Right, so sometimes I'll come and before I order, I'll try to log in and guess what the password may be. And then I usually give it 5 or 6 tries. And then if I don't get it by then, I just go buy something and then see how far off I was. There have been a few times when I got it. I guessed it and I got it. And I didn't have to buy anything. And I was able. And then once you get it, you're on for 6 hours before you have to quote unquote buy something again. But Caca should become a sponsor. As much as I'm in this account, I would love to do Caca. But right now, they just provide me a location, and not always empty. Right, especially now because it's high season. High season here in Mexico, and there's a lot more people. The other beautiful thing I like about coming to Caca, because it's on my block, just one street over, is I know people here.
Yeah.
Right. Other people who come and work, I see them, I say hi to them, we chat, talk, and whatever. So, and I also love the people watch. Usually I'm out on the street, but just my tables where the plugs weren't available. And since I need the plug for my laptop battery sucks ass, then I have to go with the plugs. I was mildly worried when I came in because it's so full that there wasn't going to be a spot available, and I was going to have to wing it someplace else. But it worked out. Yes. Nice long pause. Give a nice long pause in there for me to figure out.
You know, the bank episodes always end up being weird because we have that kind of self-imposed restriction of like, don't talk about tomorrow or next week as if it's tomorrow or next week, and it's like, oh, I want no. Why would I?
Oh no, right?
You
So
know,
I want to say,
like,
oh, you know what happened yesterday? Oh well, I can't talk about. Oh, because my thought process is like, listeners, here's what's going on in them. All right. I am currently celebrating my victory at the International Toastmasters Speech Contest,
which you would have learned about a month or so ago on a live episode.
Already heard me talking about it because I just got finished editing episode 127 before I came here to record, which means that the end of that episode was me saying the next time you hear me talk, I will have won the International Speech Contest. And then I won it. So, next episode, I'm going to talk about me winning the contest and having the entire story of that contest and the lead up and everything that happened and everybody I met, like that in my notebooks for the next time we record, which will be in 2 days.
And you probably won't talk about it because we're going to have a special guest if everything goes according to plan.
It'll be the following episode,
right?
That I really talk about. Right? So, which will still be before this episode.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, because this episode's either going to drop while you are on the cruise, or a couple weeks later. If you're hearing this for the first time, when we first dropped it, and it's in mid-April or early April, then it's when I'm at Disney World. Because that we pivoted on the Elkton Magic cruise that just didn't sell. We only had like a couple people signed up for it. It wasn't going to float. We weren't going to get the numbers we needed to get the event space, so we scrapped it. We'll try again some other time. Yeah. So you also, if it's the week that you're on the cruise, I may actually be in Vegas for the weekend. Because as of right now, at the time that we're recording, I've got flight booked and a hotel lined up, and we're pretty sure we're going out to Vegas last weekend of March. And it's going to be something that I have not done in years.
So you're going to Vegas for a pleasure trip?
Purely recreational. Nothing, no, I have no performances, no conferences. Not that I'm speaking at, not that I'm attending. No, I'm going to attend performances, of course. I'll probably take my Raiders clients to go see Mystère. Hopefully, if my wife ends up, the thing I love, and I know that I'm sitting here and I'm like a broken record when I talk about Southwest and their companion pass. But as of the date that we're recording, approximately a month before the trip, my wife has a ticket booked as a companion that cost me $11 and like 80 cents or something.
I got a story about that.
And she may or may not go on this trip. As of right now, the plan's to go, but she doesn't have to decide until I load up the car and drive to the airport.
Right. So
if she doesn't go, if she doesn't get that little beep of the ticket, by the time I land, there's going to be an email in my inbox being from Southwest saying we refunded you $11.40 or whatever it is.
Right. Now, Southwest had that companion pass thing in Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
We were looking at tickets, of course, to fly from Cancun to Orlando. And we were looking at Southwest, and we also saw that companion pass possibility. And when we first saw it, we had the second cruise on Virgin Voyages. that we were going to go on. Then we got the notification that we weren't going to be able to go on the Virgin Cruise. I say the notification, we looked at our budget
Yeah.
and the deadline to purchase those tickets. And we went, oh, okay, so we're not going on that. We can't afford to go on that cruise ship. Yeah, so we might just miss that friends and family because we can't afford to pay for it outright. And we didn't have, we had to pay for the in full for the cruise by the 17th of February, which, as it fell, we pay for rent on the 15th. So it wasn't possible. We didn't have the money.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we'll let that last. That's fine. Right? And if it's meant to be, we'll make that cruise happen. So because of that, we went with the cheaper option to go to Orlando, and we purchased different tickets since we didn't need to. Because Southwest was going to be more expensive, but you got the companion pass. And then 3 days later, 3 days after we booked this flight, we get the information of when the next Toastmasters International Convention is going to be, which falls in that window. So we could have used that companion.
Gotcha.
Now, on the flip side, because we also missed it because my mom did book a flight with Southwest, but she booked it after the companion pass promotion ended. So, quite a few companion passes nearby that apparently wasn't in our universe to purchase. We did not get a chance to do so. However, I'm a firm believer there's a reason for everything, and whatever we need will eventually work out because it usually does. It'll happen. Oh, on a completely different note, because here's the way, again, how my brain works. Companion pass, didn't have the money. We booked a cheaper flight. Oh, maybe I'll have the money later to book these other cruises and things like that. Speaking of money, I'm started getting hired for my poetry,
Oh, cool.
which I did not have on my vision board. But I did have money on my virtual vision, and money is coming to me
Oh, nice.
sporadically, but it's showing up. I've been being asked to pin pieces and write pieces, so I'm tapping back into that creativity. People ask, "Do you have a poem about this?" And of course, my answer is yes. And if I don't, I'll write one. Right? I can just put it
Been
together.
there, not with poetry, but I've been there before.
Right. The guy I'm working with literally asked me, he goes, "Do you have a poetry about allyship?" I said, "Let me check my list." You know what? I believe I do. Let me look and I'll get back to you in a minute. I did not. I wrote one. I wrote a new poem about allyship. I've been writing parody songs here and there. I've been going through, actually, what I've been going through is my parody songs that I kind of started but never finished, and taking that time to finish things.
Yeah.
And put those together as well. So, listeners, stay tuned. The other thing I'm starting using Bunker for is recording the songs. They don't have a great music studio. They don't have a music studio at all, but they do have a room where the acoustics are a little bit better than an open air cafe or the bedroom in my apartment. So, and some people in town are talking about opening up studios and recording studios and things of that nature. I'm also keeping my ear to the street for when those happen and start booking those sessions out and getting those songs recorded. I'm also talking to singers because I'm in a band. Shout out to Easy Peasy.
Easy peasy.
Shout out to Easy Peasy. And one of my bandmates, shout out to Shar, is a great singer. And I have songs that need to be sung by a female. And I'm saying, okay, I got the song, and you just sing it. We're going to get together, put it together, and sing. I'm putting together this parody song album. I don't have a name for the parody songs just yet. It'll come to me, I'm sure. listeners, this is your opportunity to, if you have an idea of a great name for a Big Sexy parody song album, put in the comments of Spotify or on our YouTube page, or go over to bullwiththebutthole.com, join the community there, and you can join the community for free and write those suggestions there. Right, subscribe to the podcast and write those suggestions there. And just know that I will have already asked ChatGPT for don't do that. I would have asked ChatGPT and I will have asked DeepSeek to give me ideas.
To ask what?
DeepSeek?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the new AI that's completely free as opposed to the ChatGPT that only lets you do free prompts before it asks you to go pro. The takeover on the AI front is amazing. And they both say the same thing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they're all pulling from the same libraries of information. So,
There's information, yeah. Yeah.
well, I guess we're not plugging anything that's upcoming because we don't know exactly when this is gonna to drop. But come see one of my shows. They're all going to be listed on judgmentalist.com. I just can't tell you what they're going to be today.
Yeah, so check out judgmentalist.com. More importantly, if you're hearing this bank episode and you're not already a subscriber to the podcast, just do us a favor. Join the community over at bullwiththebutthole.com. Or you can go to our Patreon support at patreon.com/bigsexydigitalnomad. Join the community. The community is getting big. Shout out the fact that we have 100 subscribers on YouTube. We appreciate that. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, swing on over there and subscribe. I'm looking to grow the educational series. While I mentioned that I'm going to drop it to our Patreon in the summertime, will drop on my goal is to drop on my birthday, release the entire series as one playlist on YouTube to the public.
Okay.
For free. So if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get alerts when we drop things. I know Judgmentalists, you have shows and stuff like that we can put up on the YouTube as well. We want to grow that channel. Eventually, we want to get to a place where we can monetize. And I know that takes, I think, 1,000 subscribers before you can monetize. We're at 100. So we're 1/10 of the way there.
But hey, my YouTube channel, I'll be a little selfish for a moment. My YouTube channel has 920 subscribers. I'd love to push that over the monetization number because, as we talked about before, to you, the end user, you're going to see all the same ads that you'd see one way or the other. If I'm monetized, I get a little taste of that action. You still see the same ads. It's not extra ads. It's not, oh, now you can add ads or whatever it is. It's just straight up. Okay.
And listeners, you can game the system. And here's how you do that. If you have a Gmail account, if you have more than one Gmail account, if you're like me and have 8 Gmail accounts, sign up with all of them. Only click the notification bell with the one you check most frequently. Or if you don't want the notifications, hit the notification bell for the ones you never check. Right, that way, every now and then you can go in and get notified when we drop an episode. But for every single Gmail account you have, for every single email account you have, go on over to youtube.com/@psychic-ish or go to youtube.com/bigsexynomad. I think we're at Big Sexy Nomad on YouTube or Big Sexy Digital Nomad. Either way, and sign up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah, if you're hearing this on YouTube and you're subscribed to the Big Sexy Digital Nomad, swing on over to Psychic-ish and just click that subscribe button over there. Let's get Judgmentalist over 1,000 subscribers.
And ours for the podcast is youtube.com/@Big Sexy Digital Nomad.
There you go. at Big Sexy Digital Nomad. Yeah. So join. Appreciate you all there. Yeah, and thanks you guys for tuning in. This is a bank episode, so what I'm hoping is by the time this drops, that recorded introduction is outdated, and I need to cut it off and edit it in post and add the new subscriber list and make sure those names are up to date. So you can help us do that by going on over to bullwiththebutthole.com and signing up there. Also, by the time you hear this, I will have gone on the cruise with my wife.
Or maybe you're on it.
Or I might be on it. That's Nilla's birthday cruise, and we'll be having the time of our life. And get ready because stories will be coming from that. I'm going to take notes, take stories, and hopefully it's long enough that I will have met some new sailors and conducted some interviews. I will be taking one microphone set with me, or my microphone set with me to record interviews there as well, depending on how much room I have in my carry-on. I'll probably just do the one and use my phone. I'll also be taking my laptop. We'll figure it out. Who knows what I'll do? It'll be a matter of suitcase size, what I do. Because we're leaving with just carry-on and personal, and we're coming back with another check bag because we got packages that arrived after we left California. And so my mom, who's going to California to the cruise, is taking the check bag of our stuff with her. And then we're going to bring that check bag back here with us. Which means we've got too much shit here in Mexico.
As you do.
Like you do. We know the lesson and we haven't learned it.
I know the lesson and I'm not going to learn it. I'm not even trying.
Not even trying. So we appreciate y'all tuning in and talk to you guys again soon. And in the meantime, safe travels.